Morning chums, how the devil is everybody doing? I really have to talk about benefits, don't I? I really cannot believe we're going to leave this conversation up to middle class arseholes, Guardian readers, BBC writers, people that don't know anything about normal people. If you don't know and you live in the UK, you probably aren't aware that the United States, it basically is a country that spends like a drunk sailor on shore leave. They are like pissed squaddies in Vegas. It's just a free-for-all. The amount of money they pay firefighters and coppers out here is it blows your mind. In England, we've got a decent balance where public servants, nurses, coppers, teachers, firemen, they all earn a decent wage, they all make a decent living, but they don't make a ton of money because we're idealistic and we think if you're going to work for the state, the primary reason you should do it is because you really want to do the job, you really want to be a servant to the people. And I think we've got a decent balance, like coppers, firemen, typically earn between like 25, 35 grand a year. It's a good wedge, but it's not crazy money. Out here in Pasadena, it's ridiculous. Look at that. You get $35 an hour when you're in the fucking police academy. In the police academy. That is crazy money. That's when you're a recruit and you don't know shit. Sergeants pull in about $140,000 a year, apparently. It's crazy money, and the benefits and pensions are obscene. Unfunded liabilities in California's public pension system are unbelievable. And I know guys, I go to the pub and drink with guys who are old blokes who were firefighters and cops and that, and they tell me they're pulling in $5-6 grand a month, some of them, in the pension scheme. And the worst thing is, that's more than you get as a salary as a copper or a firefighter in the UK. And these people literally, often they retire and then the next day they get hired as a contractor to come back and work for the city, weekly pay while they're getting the pension. It is laughable. And I honestly think, it is literally because they just won the lottery, the Americans. The Second World War turned them into an economic powerhouse of which the like has never ever seen, That's why it's funny when you get boomers saying, oh, we should make America like it used to be. And you think, well, yeah, lads, but unless you have another colossal war that totally decimates the entirety of Europe and half of Asia, and then allows the United States to become a titan unchallenged by anybody else, you're not really going to get America back to the halcyon days of yore in the 60s. So they really need to sort their lives out, these spend happy, typically Democrat-run states where they just piss money up the wall with reckless abandon. Anyway, I won't go off on a tangent there. Short version is, here in the States, it's not like in the UK where you get 80% when you're on furlough. First of all, they sent us all money. Me and my wife got $2,400 for no reason. We didn't ask for it. We're just taxpayers, and they just sent us checks. Bam, straight into my fucking bank account. I didn't do anything. I didn't have to fill any paperwork out. It's just literally, I file my taxes every year in America. It's not quite as good as in the UK where it just happens automatically. We pay a guy $300 it is to do our taxes for us. He does all the paperwork. I sign the fucking thing. And then we usually get a small rebate, which is an advantage of having to do it yourself, because you get some smart fucker who used to work for the fucking Sopranos to do your taxes for you, and you always get a few hundred bucks back. I think I got about $1,000 last year, and I bought a new mattress with it. Anyway, they just throw money around, print money, money printer go burr, as they would say. It's fucking ridiculous. The problem in America is just throw money on it. I remember listening to Mark Blythe when he was talking about Angrynomics. He's a Scottish economist at Brown, and he's pretty funny. And I remember him saying that basically the European economies are more like Volvos, like they don't spend quite as much, but they're nice and safe. And if they hit a bump in the road, that they're going to be all right. They're going to be able to crack on. And he said the US economy is more like a Lamborghini. It's great fun. It's great fun to ride. Everyone wants to thrash the baps off it. You can fucking hurtle down the fucking motorway at 200 miles an hour. But if you hit a bump in the road, you fucking fly into a tree and burst into flames, Paul Walker style. It's a crazy economy in the US. We just print money, make staggering amounts of money, more billionaires than anywhere else on earth. In fact, there's probably more billionaires in California by itself than there is in the whole of Europe. It's a ridiculous place. full of excess and crazy gambling. And yeah, they just throw money at every problem. They think that's how you fix anything. Print more money. So they threw money at us. Me and my missus got $2,400 just deposited into our bank account that we didn't ask for and didn't want and didn't need. So we promptly gambled with it and stuck it in the stock market because fuck it. We're going to have to pay it back anyway via our taxes. And we're going to have to pay interest on it, aren't we? Because that's how money works. 99% of public servants don't seem to grasp this fact. Or certainly those holding public office. But yeah, we're going to have to pay that money back. So we fucking stuck it all in. I bought a couple of stocks in fucking Apple and Facebook, and we're just going to leave it and hope by the time we end up paying it all back, we've actually made a bit of money on it instead of spending it on baccy and cans, you know. Anyway, I want to talk about it because this is the reason why I'm a sort of Thatcherite in England. The reason for this, even though I come from Middlesbrough, which is a fucking staunch Labour area, because obviously all those hard-working sort of pit towns up north. This may sound conceited and arrogant, but I just believe people have a short-sighted and narrow-minded view of politics. And the short version is they despise Thatcher because she did what had to be done and closed down the pits. They were all losing money. She privatised things, not because she's a bitch and she wanted to privatise them for no reason, but because they were losing staggering amounts of money and we were going bankrupt. So Thatcher made the hard decisions and brought us back from the brink. So I'm one of those fucking few Thatcherites in the northeast. And the main reason I'm a Thatcherite, the main reason, is because I'm well aware, sitting on your fat arse, eating microchips, scratching scratch cards and drinking special brew isn't good for you. Because we're humans and we're an evolved ape and we think it's good for us, it's a strange quirk of our evolution. But all the things that are bad for us are the things we like doing. We like eating pints of Ben & Jerry's on the couch. We don't like running up a mountain with a fucking caravan strapped to our backs like they force you to do in the car. We like lounging around. We don't like going out to work. But here's the thing, folks. Everything that you don't want to do is typically good for you. You don't want to go to school when you're a kid. You want to play video games. But if you don't go to school, you grow up to be a fucking dunce. You grow up to be an imbecile. Statistics from the BMJ prove it. Life expectancy gap between rich and poor in England has widened. The ONS say that life expectancy at birth for males living in England's most deprived areas was 74 years, whereas it was 83.3 years in the least deprived, a gap of almost 10 years. So this is what I've said for years, right? Lads, you have to do things that put you outside of your comfort zone. Your brain is like your body. You have to work it to make it get better. And throwing people money is not good for them. I fucking live with these people. My local pub in the borough, go in there all the time. When I was a teenager and in my 20s, I was in there fucking 7 days a week. It's full of people that have never worked for decades. My dad's mate, Dodsy's fucking been on the rock and roll for like 20 years. And the thing is, these people think they're winning. Because we're chimps and we don't like to work, they think they're winning. I have loads of friends from school who did it, proper fat lazy bastards who just went fuck it, wedged a thumb firmly up their shit locker and decided they were going to live off the state. And all of them are fat and pregnant because scum begets scum begets scum. I'm not going to name any names because you'll probably watch the video, but I do know one quite well. One of my best mate's sisters, knocked up when she was 17, arse like the back end of a bus when she's 25. Her daughter then gets knocked up when she's 17 and the cycle begins anew. You are not winning when you follow your monkey brain down the rabbit hole in doing what it wants. You have to rail against it. You have to make yourself go to the gym. You have to make yourself do everything you don't want to do. Do it. If you're scared of public speaking, you need to speak in public. If you're scared of heights, you need to go bungee jumping. If you don't want to get your fat ass to the gym, you need to go to the gym. And let me tell you, folks, you need to go to work. Oh, I don't want to keep banging the drum. You guys know how I feel about it. I think work is good for you. You don't think you want to go, but you do. Keeps you strong, makes you healthy, gives you some emotional nourishment, forces you to socialise. There's loads of good reasons about going to work. You think you don't want to do it, you fucking do. But here we see the crux of my argument about the fact that we're led by morons who've never done a real day's work in their lives. Because let me tell you, Chuck, if you work in a kebab factory, you are going to want, naturally, to stay at home rather than go to the factory. It's a shit job and it's hard work. Now this moron, Chuck, this is the same country that's printed fucking money like it was going out of fashion, sent everyone fucking thousands of dollars, and then signed off on a $600 a week unemployment benefit. And I have to point out, by the way, Brits, if you're not aware of this, not only do they give you $600 a week, that is a bonus to what you should be getting anyway. So my missus got it. She got furloughed. She was getting way more than that. She was getting about 830 or something, like a ridiculous amount. So she got the 600 bonus plus whatever she would have been entitled to anyway. So it took her over 800 a week. $800 a week for doing nothing. Nothing. And this dopey twat actually said with a straight face, well, I'll play it. Listen to this.
Charles Schumer said Sunday the idea that the now expired $600 per week enhanced unemployment benefit disincentivizes workers from returning to jobs, quote, belittles the American people. He said on ABC's This Week, quote, Americans want to work, but with the 10 to 11% unemployment, you can't find a job and people shouldn't be given a pay cut. President Trump and a number of Republicans, including Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, who has been a key negotiator on coronavirus relief legislation, have argued that the extra $600 benefit, while necessary at the beginning of the pandemic, had become an incentive for Americans to stay home rather than returning to work.
So that's a direct quote from Chuck Schumer. He said, I did hear him on NBC, he said, it belittles the American people to say this. Of course they want to work. To say they're going to stay at home, that just belittles them. Chuck, you fucking absolute log. You plank in a tie. Let me tell you, right? Even if you're mega incentivized to go to work, right? Even if you're not lazy at all and you want to go to work, I'm ignoring the tens of millions of people that aren't incentivized and don't want to go to work. Even me, if I was working in Burger King and I was raking in $500 a week, but I could make $730 a week on unemployment, if you think I'd go to work, you really are an absolute imbecile. You have the IQ of a pull-along duck, the brains of a rocking horse. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And that's his direct quote. They want to work, but they can't find a job, so they shouldn't be given a pay cut. Well, they're not being given a pay cut, they're getting fucking far more than they're actually getting paid. Like, I don't know what number of Americans earn less than about $800 a week, but it's going to be most of them, me included, by the way. So, yeah, fucking idiot. Absolute log. These people know nothing. They know nothing about normal people. You've got to make a very strong argument to get people to say, you know what, I'm going to get up early and go to work 5 days a week to get $4 a week less. I mean, really, how thick is he? So, it amused me to read this. Did the expired $600 federal jobless benefit keep going from bad to work? Sudden drop in claims adds fuel to debate. Well, it's not a debate. If you're working class and you work for a living and you know anything about human fucking behaviour, it's not a debate at all. It's not. When you pay people more to sit at home, they sit at home. No shit. Pay them more. Can you? In fact, I'm not even having a go at lazy bastards. I'm having a go at the lazy bastards in England who, sit on the dole for 25 years. But I'm not going to have a go at anyone who earns slightly more sitting at home than they do going to work. Can you blame them? I'd probably do it. If I got fucking $10 a week more for doing nothing, I'd probably do nothing. It's more money, isn't it? It's $10 a week. Why not take it? Why cut your nose off to spite your face and get less money for going to work? How stupid are these people? So anyway, if you did want to see any actual figures, here they are. New jobless claims fall below 1 million a week. Sharp drop in initial claims after the end of the $600 a week federal benefit. Did generous unemployment benefits discourage workers from returning to their jobs? A big drop in people seeking or receiving it in the last 2 weeks. Hints the answer may be yes. Hints the fucking answer may be yes. Is the sky blue? You might as well ask them. Jobless claims fell to 963,000 in early August, a decline of almost 500,000 from 2 weeks earlier. And the number of people receiving benefits tumbled by 1.5 million in the last 2 weeks of July, just as the benefit was expiring. Literally, just as it expires, everyone goes back to work. Some economists say it's no coincidence new and continuing applications began to tumble right around the expiration of the federal stipend. Yes, It's not rocket science, folks. Well, you said it exactly like that. I actually started that sentence before I read it. It's not rocket science. When you pay people to sit at home more than when they go back to work, they sit at home. When you don't, if they're offered a job, they go back to work. Fucking well done, genius. I'll tell you what, you have to be chief economist at Amherst to fucking know that, don't you? Christ almighty. So listen. I'll leave the article for you to read. It's just a lengthy way of saying what every single person listening to this video knows. Because as I keep saying, this is why we've lost all hope in the political process. This is why Trump won. This is why I'm now an ex-Tory. The people that run the show know nothing. They know nothing about normal people. They would fail like PSE in fucking secondary school in England. Like they know nothing about people. Human nature. And just because politics has become a popularity contest, they're all just wanting to print more money. I disagree with how much money Trump's gave out. And Schumer and Pelosi are basically going, oh yeah, well, we'll give you more money. We'll print more money than Trump. Like, Trump is wrong for printing money, and they want to do it more. Their argument isn't, yeah, we shouldn't be doing this. It's going to tank the economy. Their argument is, fuck it, we'll give you more. Like a giant popularity contest. Like two cheerleaders arguing who can bang the most fucking boys at the prom, despite the fact they both know it's going to give them a nasty dose of syphilis. It's insanity. Trump fucked up, and the Democrats want to fuck up more. This is, again, we're politically homeless, all of us, aren't we? It's the same in England. The Conservatives are morons who don't know what they're doing, but the Labour Party don't say, yeah, let's do the opposite. The Labour Party, oh yeah, they're not being moronic enough. The lockdown's idiotic. Boris is a moron for doing the lockdown, and the Labour Party going, oh yeah, well, we should have locked down earlier and we should have locked down more. Like, there's no opposition. There isn't any opposition to stupid ideas anymore. It's just turned into a full-blown popularity contest. Everybody wants to be liked. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are either absolute fucking idiots, or they secretly know it's a bad idea to just throw money at people, but they just want to be elected. This is why we've gone wrong. Popularity politics. No one's interested in doing the right thing. Everyone's just interested in cheering everybody up. And this is what needs to happen, folks. This is what needs to happen. We need to go back to the good old days where politicians used to make hard, difficult decisions that they knew in the long run would be for the good of the country. And all of us, Liberals, Democrats, Republicans, Labour voters, Conservative voters, every one of us needs to get a grip, tighten our belts, suck it up and encourage our leaders to do the right thing for the good of the country in the long term. Not just do what all of our public servants are doing now, nurses, coppers, firemen, everyone wants more money. We need people that have integrity and carry themselves with a little bit of fucking decency and say, you know what? For our grandkids and our great-grandkids, we need to do the right thing in the long term. What's the old saying? Society grows great when men plant trees whose shade they will never sit in. We all need to think for the future and plan for the fucking future. Not just placate our base whims by throwing money at every problem because daddy wants a new fucking convertible. It's a terrible idea. Both parties are failing in the US and all the parties are failing in the UK, and we need an alternative. We need people who are willing to tell a difficult truth, face a harsh reality and do the right thing going forward. And I think that's me for the day, chaps. Sorry it wasn't very funny, but it's not funny. It's not fucking funny. When we've all got less fucking money than a Venezuelan banker, we need real solutions, not just make a few quips, because frankly I'll be very upset if in 20 years' time I'm walking past recently expired, malnourished children in the streets here in California, because, I saw plenty of that growing up in Middlesbrough, and I don't want to see it here. Thanks for listening. Like and share the video, and I'll do another giveaway when I get to 5,000 subs. Maybe I'll do caricatures or something. I'll think of something. So yeah, keep at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.